Okay, all right. So, listen, something happened this morning and I need to tell you about it right now because I cannot sit on this. I was not even supposed to be recording today. I was literally in the middle of something completely different, totally off my schedule, entirely focused on my own mundane tasks. But this undeniable, heavy, beautiful pressure just dropped into my physical space and explicitly told me to turn the camera on immediately. I don't even care how the algorithm delivers this to you, whether it pops up on your feed at 2 in the morning when you cannot sleep, your mind racing with anxiety about the future, or if it autoplays while you are staring blankly out the window, completely exhausted from just existing and fighting invisible battles. You need to hear this, and you need to hear it right now, because this moment, this exact collision of your attention and my voice, is not random. Carl Jung talked about synchronicity not as a mere coincidence, but as a causal connecting principle, meaning that the inner world of your deeply held desires, your secret prayers, and your unseen struggles is directly, violently, and beautifully colliding with your outer reality in this exact second. You clicking on this or this video finding you out of the millions of pieces of content on the internet is the literal embodiment of synchronicity. It is the universe categorically refusing to let you give up right before you cross the threshold. I know you are tired. I know that the last few months, maybe even the last few years, have felt like a brutal, exhausting demolition of everything you thought you knew, everything you thought was safe, and everything you thought you were building toward. You have been sitting in the dark, asking the void, asking God, asking the universe, asking whoever is listening if you are just crazy. You have been wondering if you imagined the promise, if your manifestation was just a delusion, and if all the grief and the shattered expectations were just your predetermined lot in life. You have been carrying this invisible backpack filled with the heavy stones of betrayal, of closed doors, of people who looked you in the eye and misunderstood you, undervalued you, and walked away when you needed them the most. And you have metabolized that pain in absolute silence. You did not become bitter, even though you had every single right to let the darkness consume you. You did not shut down your heart completely, even though you built armor so thick you sometimes forget how to breathe without it restricting your chest. I see you, the universe sees you, the divine intelligence that steers the stars categorically sees you, and I am here to tell you, fiercely and with absolute certainty, that the demolition was not a punishment. It was not a punishment. It was not random. It was a clearing. It was the universe forcefully removing the people, the situations, and the timelines that were simply too small for where you were going. You were trying to plant a massive, ancient oak tree in a tiny, fragile plastic pot, and you were crying when the pot shattered, not realizing that the shattering was the only way your roots could finally touch the real earth. You have been mourning the loss of things that were actively keeping you stagnant. You have been weeping over doors that were slammed in your face, not understanding that those doors led to rooms where you would have had to shrink, compromise your soul, and abandon your authenticity just to be tolerated. Wait, hold on. You're still not in our Patreon? Seriously, it's completely free to join the community, to get into the energy of people who actually understand this journey. And if you want the deep stuff, the raw, unfiltered manifestation techniques and the timeline-jumping protocols that I don't share anywhere else, that's on Ko-fi. Both links are right there in the description, so just go do that in a new tab and come right back. Because we need to keep going and you cannot miss this next part. Okay, so look at me. Look at me right now. I need you to bypass your logical mind for a second. I need you to step out of the spiritual bypass where you just pretend everything is light and love all the time, and I need you to acknowledge the sheer grit of what you have survived. You have been in the trenches of your own subconscious. You have experienced a level of hope fatigue that makes it terrifying to even want something good again. I know that hoping has hurt you. Believing has felt like setting yourself up for another brutal letdown, another rug pulled out from under you, another cycle of getting excited only to be met with deafening silence. But the synchronicity of this moment, the absolute mathematical improbability that you and I are connecting through this screen right now, is the universe grabbing you by the shoulders, looking you dead in the eye and saying, "Enough. The waiting is over." The period of isolation, of testing, of building the roots in the pitch-black dirt when nobody was clapping for you, that is finished. You are crossing the threshold right now. I want you to do some future pacing with me right now. Imagine yourself 6 months from today. You are standing in the exact physical reality you have been desperately trying to magnetize. You are breathing air that feels lighter. You are surrounded by people who do not require you to shrink, who do not drain your life force with their projections and their insecurities, but who celebrate the immense, beautiful power of your spirit. You look back at this exact day, this exact moment, this exact video as the pivot point, the moment the scale finally tipped in your favor. You will look back and realize that every single rejection was a fierce, divine protection. Those people who walked away, they were steered away because their presence in your life would have actively blocked the blessings that are currently rushing toward you. That job you didn't get, that opportunity that fell through, that investment that seemed to evaporate into thin air, that relationship that left you shattered on the bathroom floor, all of it was the universe dissolving the lesser timelines so that the highest possible timeline could lock into place. This is the inevitability of your destiny. It is categorically impossible for you to have done this much internal work, to have metabolized this much shadow, to have healed this deeply, to have forgiven people who never even apologized, and not receive the reflection of that work in your physical reality. The law of cause and effect demands that your harvest is here. The unseen realm has already shifted. The energetic blueprint of your manifestation is already complete. It is simply trickling down into the dense physical matter of your everyday life. Yes, it is real. Yes, it is yours. Yes, it is your time. I need you to let that in. I know your armor is screaming at you to be skeptical. I know the voice in your head, the echo of the people who doubted you, the ghosts of your past failures, is whispering that this is just another false dawn. But I need you to drown them out with the sheer volume of your own self-belief. You are the hero of this story. You are the one who took the hits, who bled in the unseen battles, who crawled forward when everyone else would have surrendered and chosen the easy path. And now, the elixir is yours. The reward is here. It is not something you have to chase anymore. It is something you simply have to allow. You are magnetizing it simply by existing in this new frequency of surrender and trust. The algorithm didn't bring you here. Your own soul's magnetic resonance brought you here to receive the confirmation you have been begging for. The universe heard your late-night questions. It heard the silent tears you cried when you thought you were completely alone. It witnessed the moments you chose to be kind, even when the world was incredibly cruel to you. And this synchronicity is the receipt. It is the proof that none of it was in vain. Your pain was the exact fuel required to propel you into a reality so magnificent, so perfectly tailored to your deepest desires, that you will eventually fall to your knees in gratitude that your original plans did not work out. You have to understand that the demolition phase is always the loudest, the messiest, and the most frightening. When a building is being torn down to make way for a skyscraper, there is dust, there is noise, there is chaos. But the construction phase, the building of the new foundation, is quiet. It is steady. It happens behind the scenes. You have been in the quiet construction phase, mistaking the silence for absence. You thought, because you couldn't see the massive changes happening immediately, that nothing was happening at all. But Carl Jung knew that the subconscious mind is the true architect of reality. Your subconscious has been working overtime, rearranging the quantum field, placing the exact right people in the exact right locations, delaying certain events by just a few seconds so that you would intersect with your destiny at the perfect orchestrated moment. Everything is a mathematical certainty. Your success is a mathematical certainty. Your peace is a mathematical certainty. The vindication you have been quietly craving, the desire to show the people who doubted you that you were right all along, that is also happening. But by the time it does, you won't even care about proving them wrong anymore, because you will be so entirely consumed by the joy of your new life. You will look at them with compassion, realizing they were just playing their necessary roles in the grand play of your awakening. They were the antagonists required to push the hero out of the village and into the dark forest where the treasure was hidden. You found the treasure. You survived the forest. You faced the dragons of your own self-doubt, your own generational trauma, your own deeply ingrained unworthiness, and you slew them. You did the work. Now you must claim the reward. You cannot do all this work, survive all this pain, and then stand at the finish line refusing to cross it because you are afraid of what happens next. The fear of success is just as paralyzing as the fear of failure. You are afraid that if you finally get what you want, you might lose it. You are afraid that the other shoe is going to drop. I am here to tell you, with the absolute authority of the divine forces backing this message, that there is no other shoe. The sky is not falling. The storm has passed. The clouds are breaking. The sun is shining directly onto your path, illuminating the next steps with blinding clarity. The universe is fiercely protecting you from anything that is not in alignment with your highest good. You are encased in a vibrational shield of your own making, forged in the fires of your past grief. Nothing can touch you now unless you invite it in. So do not invite in the old doubts. Do not invite in the old fears. When they knock on the door of your mind, you simply observe them, acknowledge them, and let them walk away. They do not own you anymore. You are a completely different person than you were a year ago. You have literally shed the cellular structure of the victim you used to be, and you have birthed a master manifester, a conscious creator, a being of immense light and gravity. You are a celestial body with your own orbit, and you are currently pulling your desires into your atmosphere with an unstoppable gravitational pull. This is not a drill. This is not a metaphor. This is the literal truth of your energetic reality right now. I need you to feel the weight of these words in your physical body. Notice how your breathing has changed since this video started. Notice how a tiny spark of relief has ignited in the center of your chest. That relief is your intuition recognizing the truth. Your logical mind might still be fighting it, looking for loopholes, looking for reasons why this won't work for you, why you are the one exception to the rule of the universe. But your soul knows. Your soul is vibrating with the recognition of this synchronicity. Your soul brought you to this exact timestamp, to these exact words, to this exact frequency, to tell you that the struggle is officially over. You do not have to fight anymore. You do not have to push the boulder up the hill anymore. The momentum has shifted. The boulder is rolling down the other side of the mountain, clearing the path for you effortlessly. All you have to do is walk behind it and collect the spoils of your victory. I know it feels strange to not be fighting. I know your nervous system is so wired for chaos, so addicted to the adrenaline of survival mode, that peace feels like a threat. Peace feels boring. Peace feels dangerous because you think it means you are not paying attention and something bad is going to sneak up on you. But you have to actively train your nervous system to accept peace. You have to actively teach your body that it is safe to be happy, it is safe to be successful, it is safe to be loved deeply and unconditionally, it is safe to have an abundance of resources. You are not going to be punished for shining. You are not going to be struck down for being powerful. The universe wants you to be powerful because when you are fully in your power, you give everyone around you the subconscious permission to step into theirs. Your success is a service to humanity. Your joy is a radical act of rebellion against a world that profits from your depression and your self-doubt. By claiming your manifestation, you are elevating the collective frequency of the entire planet. That is how important you are. That is how important your journey has been. The unseen forces did not put you through the ringer just for their own amusement. They put you through the ringer to forge a sword sharp enough to cut through the illusions of this matrix. You are the sword, and you are finally ready to be wielded by the divine. So this is what we are going to do right now, in this exact moment, to seal this frequency and permanently alter your timeline. I need you to take a physical action right now to anchor this unseen truth into your dense physical reality. I do not care if you are on a crowded bus with headphones on, if you are sitting in your car in a parking lot, or if you are completely alone in your bedroom staring at the ceiling. I need you to change your posture. I need you to sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, physically open your chest to the world, take a massive, deep breath that fills your stomach, and say out loud, yes, literally speak the words into the air so your physical ears hear your own voice vibrating in the room. Say out loud, this is mine. Say that. Mean it. Claiming it dissolves the final barriers. Say, I release the waiting. I claim my manifestation. I am ready to receive all of it right now. The universe is fiercely protecting you. The unseen forces are actively moving the final pieces into place. You have finally arrived. Your time is now.